7:35 p.m., Wednesday, June 18th.
Councilwoman Selby,
Present.
Councilman Carnegie,
Present.
Supervisor Keating,
Present.
Councilwoman Lukacek,
Present.
Councilwoman Martin.
Present.
Councilman Carnegie, will you please lead us in the pledge of allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, folks, we do have one preliminary matter tonight. We did receive an email from the Passion Fire Company, actually just yesterday. Councilman, do you want to take that item?
Sure.
Okay.
We received a request from the Patchen Fire Company for doing their annual food drive on July 4th. From 1,800 hours to 2,100 hours in front of Patchen Fire Hall. And I'd like to make a motion that we approve this.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes.
Councilman Carnegie,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, that is our preliminary matters for this evening. On to our regular business, item number 2. The first item is the correction and adoption of the minutes from the June 4th, 2025 meeting. And Councilwoman Lukacek, would you like to take that item?
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. I did review the draft meeting minutes for June 4th, 2025, and I make a motion that we approve.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes.
Councilman Carnegie,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek.
Yes, and thank you for the summary for all the discussions.
I'll put your vote now. Motion carried.
You never said my name.
I'm so sorry. Sorry.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
I threw her
Thank
off.
you. Motion carried.
Took her out of the routine. All right, item number 2 is our regular, under our regular business is the consideration of all fund bills. And Councilwoman Martin, would you like to take that item tonight?
Yes, Supervisor, I had a few minutes to go over the fund bills for Journal AP 5139, and I make a motion to pay these payables at $763,205.76. I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes.
Councilman Carnegie,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
I do want to add that, so there's actually 2 journal entries in there. There's the AP 5139, just for the public's benefit. There's 5139, and there was a water project phase 1 payment journal entry, AP 5140. So, yes, with that amendment, yes.
and Councilwoman Lukacek,
Yes, with that amendment.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, moving on to our correspondence. We have a bunch of correspondence, surprisingly, from since our last meeting, and they are all as follows and part of the board packet online or available in the town clerk's office. First item is the town clerk's monthly report for May of 2025. Item number 2 is a dog control officer report for May of 2025. Item 3 is the code enforcement officer report for May of 2025. Item number 4 is the 2023 fiscal statements and year-end reports to the year-end recommendations, to the board. Item number 5 is the income statement for May of 2025. Item number 6 are the cash balances as of May 2025. Excuse me. Item number 7 is the town clerk and tax receiver 2024 audit results. Those are part of our annual departmental audits. Item number 8 is a letter from the Erie County Department of Public Works, a notice of the road restriction from South Abbott Road, from Herman Hill Road to Bunting Road. That's for the waterline projects currently underway. Item number 9 is a letter from Supervisor Keating to the Honorable our Congressman Nicholas Langworthy regarding HUD funding and CDBG home programs. Item number 10 is a NYSEG unveils 2 new rapid hole machines to expedite restorations. Seems like a neat concept. Item number 11, NYSEG Utilities is a New York Public Service Commission secure refund for a customer of $13 million charged by the transmission developer. That's a pretty big one, folks. Keep an eye on your bills. If you want to see the details, it's all in that document. Item number 12, application for use of meeting facility for Carrie Ann Haltringen. Apologies if I mispronounced that name, for the Girl Scouts. Item number 13 is an application for use of meeting facility for Supervisor Keating for LOSAP, which is the Length of Service Award Point Program update meeting. That was held just tonight, not downstairs. On to our new business. The first item, as always, is our request from the floor. If anyone would like to come up and state, has any business they want to discuss with the board, please come up to the microphone, state your name and address. Please keep it to 3 minutes. And just as a friendly reminder, the open floor session is not a back and forth. We're getting away from that because it continues to, go past the 3-minute timeline. So the floor is now open.
Good evening, Frank Gamble. It's the 5771 Homestead Road here in Boston, also the Boston Town Historian. Would like to thank Bob and his team for installing the replacement sign for our first settler just down the street here, Boston State Road in Liebler. Second item on the agenda is something that I've been working on for quite some time, and I'm pleased to announce that we will be receiving a $2,050 grant from the Pomeroy Foundation. It's the William G. Pomeroy Foundation. You might remember them from our sign down by the typhoid fever at Zimmerman and Boston State Road. So that award was just signed over on Monday. I got the letter today. I forwarded it to the office, so Jason has a copy of that. And we should see a new sign coming. It's for the Anthony Homestead, just down the road here, Mr. Metzger's property. Once was a sprawling 290-acre land farm, which evolved over time to like our first bed and breakfast in the area, and summer resort, which lasted from 1917 through 1928. So we can look forward to that, and congratulations to the town on this one.
Thank you for your work.
Yeah.
Jay Jackson, 7964 Back Creek Road. Made a little bit of progress, did some research for our holiday lighting. Went back and forth with our supervisor a couple of times. I've gathered a little bit of background. It's going to be in the neighborhood of $25,000 to $30,000 if we do all 70 poles at once. One of the things I have learned about is General Law 103. There is a price limit on how the approval goes for such funds. The other piece is a 12-month limit, which probably would work in our favor. Let's see, spoke to a local electrician, and then a guy who has an electrical business, both of them bucket truck capable, things along those lines. If it disconnects, the parts themselves are going to be fairly expensive. They are in the ballpark of about $100 a pole. And then fellow resident Rich Hawkins suggested approaching businesses. Now, we did just approach them a little while ago for fireworks, so I don't know how well they respond to requests for funding for the lights. However, I'll do everything I can, and I'm sure Rich will too, on making sure that the public is aware of their support for this work. The other piece that I'm hoping to be able to accomplish is a GoFundMe page to collect money for the lights. I don't want to scare anybody off with a great big huge number. But boy, I tell you, with the manger, 48 hours we had almost $1,000, and there were people afterwards that were, how come you closed off the GoFundMe? I wanted to donate money. So there's a lot more. I'm not sure what the word is, but there's a lot more interest out there to be able to do that stuff. And I want to continue working with Councilman Cartacchini. We're going to have to see where we're going to go with that. Once my hope is that there'll be a discussion between the three of us. We'll get some roles worked out and figured out, who needs to do what and where we head with this stuff. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Jim Stang, 7780 Eddy Road. I'd like to take and acknowledge Allison for the wonderful job she's done with our concert series. It's been going over very good. I've been to the last 3 of them, and they've been totally awesome. For her to take and pick 18 bands out of 40 to take and show up, so far they've been tremendous. Like I say, in doing it, she's behind the scenes, but she's doing a heck of a good job. Thank you.
Thank you. We should have concerts all throughout the year. 40
Don't tell her
bands,
that.
52 weeks a year.
Don't tell her that.
Oh, wait a minute, that's on record. Oh, yeah. She's probably watching at home. What the heck's he telling?
I'll be short and sweet tonight. The Brinkerhoff went pretty well as it could. We got it wrapped up in like an hour and a half. We're all back off the streets again. Coming up, I'll be at the fireworks ceremony. I'll get in touch with some details and discuss that. I was stopping at some of the music in the park as well if I could. I had found up with a couple complaints, but I was able to swing in last night. Really big turnout there, a lot of people, it was great to see. And we had 1 stolen car so far this month. Again, we recovered it about 5.5, 6 hours later and processed it and got it back to the guy. So now we're just waiting for the long process of DNA and fingerprints. Around a year usually, if they're not a regular, so. Gotta wait for that to happen, but that's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Public service announcement. Sadly, gone are the days. Do not leave the keys in your car, folks. This has happened a couple of times in town. I won't get into details, but please don't leave your car unlocked with the keys in it. That's how these cars are literally growing feet and walking away easily. So we're not in what we used to live, the world we used to live in. Anyone else? Okay, no other comments? I'll close the open floor. Item number 2 is for 8829 State Road. This is for LLC Mobile Home Park License Approval. And Councilwoman Selby, would you like to take that item tonight?
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. I'd like to make a motion to approve the permit for 8229 State Road LLC. That is, their mailing address is on Main Street in Clarence. And it looks like everything is in order here. And I'd like to make a motion to approve this permit.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes.
Councilman Curtis,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukaszek,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, item number 3 is Resolution 2025-52, requesting an all-way stop study to address traffic safety concerns at the intersection of Eckert and Taylor Road. I'll take this one, folks. This is coming back yet again. Hopefully this will get it across the finish line. But in one of the the road trainings I took, it's called a warrant on roads. So if you're familiar with Eckert and Taylor, we seem to talk a lot about that area and intersection in our community. The town board has requested Erie County do traffic studies and requested stop signs multiple times. All the past information is there, however, the warrants have changed, which means line of sight, public safety, things of that nature. With that being said, on good faith from the county, we have collaborated, and we think that this time this might be the last one. We might be able to get this one over the finish line to get a 4-way stop over there. So I'd like to make a motion to approve Resolution 2025-52. And again, this is requesting the county do a traffic study to place all 4-way stop sign at the intersection of Eckert and Taylor Road.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes.
Councilman Curtis,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukaszek,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item number 4 is Resolution 2025-53, authorizing procurement of a 2025 International Season Charlie V as in Victor 515 with snowplow and dump package for the Highway Department use. Councilman Carter, can you take that item?
Sure. Thank you, Supervisor Keating. I'd like to make a motion that we adopt Resolution 2025-53. The Highway Superintendent's identified a need for a truck and plow. Going off the state bid, we can get discounts on that truck, so I'd like to authorize the purchase of a 2025 International Model CD 515 truck with snow plow and dump package for a total cost not to exceed $476.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes.
Councilman Karakini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukashevich,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, item 5 is Resolution 2025-54, approving the Justice Court audit. And Councilwoman Lukashevich, would you like to take that item tonight?
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. We did receive the Uniform Justice Court audit for all of the paperwork and everything that our court system does. Drescher Malecki performed it, and we received they performed it in April, and we received the final resolution. So I make a motion that we approve 2025-54 for the Justice Court audit.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes.
Councilman Karakini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukashevich,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, item number 6 tonight is Resolution 2025-55, waiving a notice period for sick time buyout at retirement in the union agreement. And Councilwoman Lukashevich, would you like to take that item tonight?
Sure. Okay, so, let's see, waiving, so this is for the waiving of our union employee, that I make a motion, we waive the 3-month benefit election deadline for resolution number 2025-55 for William A. Durzinowski. I apologize if I mispronounced that.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes.
Councilman Karakini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukashevich,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, item number 7 tonight is Resolution 2025-56 for a change order for Water Phase 1. I'll take this item tonight as there's quite a bit that went back and forth, and just to explain the information that is supporting the resolution. So we have Water Phase 1 that's going on in North Boston. There's additional requirements from Erie County, which you'll see in the very near future, which is where the crosscuts are on Zimmerman Road to the left and right of that cut, or east and west, if you will, or, I'm sorry, north and south, if you will. They want it paved, milled and paved down, and then restriped. And then there's other additional changes that are in here. The total amount of this change order for this resolution is $104,351. So I'd like to make a motion to approve the resolution 2025-56 for that project.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes.
Councilman Karakini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukashevich,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
And item number 8 tonight is to appoint a sub-nutrition staff temporary from June 18th to September 1st. And the assistant nutrition individual that the town board has discussed downstairs is Karen Riverick, and the nutrition salary is $16.81 for the record. I'd like to make a motion to appoint Karen as a temporary substitute and nutrition director at that rate.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes.
Councilman Karakini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukashevich,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, that is it for our new business. One item for old business tonight, as it's come back around. That one and only item is to schedule a public hearing for a special permit for a co-location on existing telecommunications tower for American Tower Corporation located at 8881 Cole Road. And Councilwoman Martin, would you like to take that item tonight?
Yes, Supervisor, we'd like to schedule a public hearing for the special permit for a co-location on an existing telecommunications tower for the American Tower Corp. at 881 Cole Road, and that would be scheduled for July 16th, 2025 at 7:35 p.m.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby.
Yes.
Councilman Karakini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukashevich,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, that is it for our business tonight. On to reports and presentations. Highway Superintendent.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Supervisor. First, I'd like to thank the board for approving the purchase of the new International CV plow truck. It's to replace the 2009 Ford 550 that's 16 years old now. And we just ordered one of these trucks a year and a half ago, and it just got finished at Valley Fab this week. It goes back to the dealer, and then we'll get it probably in the next week. That's the first one to replace the other 2009 Ford 550 that have been pretty good trucks. Before I started, they had Ford 550s year 2000. 3 years later, they got new trucks in 2003. We kept them trucks until 2009, so we kept them 6 years. And then these here ones, we kept for 16 years. So we definitely keep them painted up and keep them maintained and cleaned up. And, you know, every spring the wheels get pulled off and brakes get gone through, and the guys take really good care of them. But these new trucks are a little bit heavier duty, and we're gonna give the Internationals a try, because it's just time for something different. The Fords have been good trucks, but it's just hard to work on the motors on those things, and these are just a little bit better trucks. So, you know, they've definitely gone up in price, that's for sure, but what happens, so. But thank you for letting us order the next one. We're gonna get the first one probably in the next week, and we're gonna definitely try it. I mean, we can plow the streets, but we can still drive it, and check out the plow in front for visibility, and the guys will make sure they like it before we order the second one. But if we like it, we just want to get it approved that we can order the second truck. So thank you, that's all I have tonight.
Thank you very much. Councilwoman Selby, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. I'd like to give a shout out to Frank Hamel, a town historian, for going after that grant. That's amazing, and I see the work you're doing around town. I noticed that plaque at the end of my street there. It looks great, and we really appreciate your work you're doing with that. Also, I was at the concert last night too. I totally agree with Bill over there. It was amazing. The cars that were there, we had to park so far back and walk. It was like amazing how busy it was. And there were ball games going on, and playground was packed, and it was just good to see. It reminded me of like back in the day. So that's really all I have.
Thank you very much. Councilman Carabini, you have the floor.
Thank you, Supervisor Keating. I'd like to thank the fellows from Landmark, Firefly, North Boston, Patchen, and Boston Fire Departments for attending our LoSAP presentation tonight. Always appreciate it when there's representation there. I know the town board has worked really hard to try to make that right, even though we can't correct the sins of the past. We're trying to do everything we can to, you know, make sure that that program is solvent. We will be having a call. I know that one of the fire companies amended their bylaws to have proper classification on their roles so that they're awarded the proper points. I know that another department had questions, and another department is debating the merits of changing the bylaws. So that is one thing I'd like to close out before I finish my turn. It's very important to me personally on this board to make sure that, you know, the people that are volunteering their time are getting the appropriate credit due. I think we all share that as board members. So thanks for taking the time to come tonight to the presentation. And last but not least is I'd like to thank Jay Jackson for his ongoing involvement in the holiday lighting. We've had several conversations, and it's just a real stark reminder that nothing involving utility companies and government is easy. As simple as, you know, we think it should be, there's always a process. So I wanted to recognize your effort and also thank you for your patience as we, you know, try to do right by the town. You know, I know that there was discussion that, you know, once we lost those connections, they couldn't be reestablished, and we've been able to verify that they can be reestablished, and there's a process for that. And I think that, you know, as a resident of the town, not as a member of the board, you know, there's so many things that are special about the town. And, you know, there's nothing like going through a town that, you know, has the, you know, the lighting and, you know, the festivities for the season. It's wonderful. You know, and I think it would be a real shame if, you know, we took the hard work of, you know, started out with Herb Klein back in the day to initiate this, community effort to get to what we have today, I think it would be a real shame to just, let it go by the wayside. So I look forward to being involved in that committee well after my term ends in December. So just wanted to take a moment to thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you very much. Councilwoman Lukacek, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. So our code, Bob, so that's Bob Highway, and then we have Bob Code. So met with Bob from Code today. He has some items that he would like to have updated in the code, in our town code, because they're either missing or outdated. So there's a process to go through that and vet it and understand where that needs to go and who that needs to be reviewed with. So getting together with the planning board, zoning, and our town planner, town attorney, and then we've got another, like Lavallo, helping us out with that. So wanted to thank Code Bob for initiating that, and everybody's already chimed in on when we can meet again. So thank you very much for your patience and your volunteering. That's it.
Thank you very much. Councilwoman Martin, you have the floor.
I actually have nothing to report, thank you.
Okay. Madam Clerk, you have the floor.
Thank you, Supervisor Keating. Just a few things this evening. The 2025 town and county tax payments will be received in my office through Monday, June 30th. After that date, they are returned to Erie County. I did send out the late notices, and I just wanted to read the notice that was put inside with those late notices. This is called Notice of Unpaid Taxes. It's a HOP notice, Homeowners Assistance Program. The HOP program is designed to ensure that no family in New York ever loses their home because they do not have access to a lawyer or qualified housing counselor. To be connected with legal services or housing counseling organization near you, call 1-855-466-3456 or visit homeownerhelpny.org. A statewide listing by county is also available at the website of the New York State Department of Financial Services. And we are in the early voting regarding Board of Elections for Erie County. That is held here at this building in the community room. That started on Saturday, June 14th and goes through through Sunday, June 22nd. There is no voting on June 23rd. Primary day is Tuesday, June 24th. If you reside in the town of Boston and you will walk in and want your ballot, there isn't one. We have no primary election here in the town of Boston, but this is a primary voting location, so this is open to anyone that resides in Erie County, that your town or city may have some kind of primary election going on. And Supervisor, you'll touch on tomorrow closure of town hall and 4th of July?
Yes, we'd like to.
No, you go right ahead. All right, I'm all set. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. All right, just a handful of things. So first thing I want to touch base on our agenda item number 7 tonight when we had that change order. Just want to also let the taxpayers know. So that project has what's called a BAN, Bank Anticipation Note. That total amount that was received by the town was $2,771,000. That money was invested. The town can legally take those funds and invest them and make interest on them. So with that being said, as of just the other day, the total interest on that was $64,796. So the anticipation, what's going on is we're taking that interest, that interest monies, we're applying that towards that, if you will, that overrun. So that's going to help balance out that change order. I don't know what's going to happen. Our last construction meeting, just for the public's benefit, that we had on South Abbott Road, there was a culvert that's there. There's some dialogue on whether or not we have to go underneath the culvert according to Erie County and New York State drainage law, or we can go over it. That's a conversation I'll probably have an answer for by our next meeting, because we don't have a meeting in 2 weeks because of the Independence Day holiday. But as I have more information, I'll be sure to keep everybody aware. course, especially if it comes up with a change order, we legally have to disclose that to you, for all the obvious reasons we're spending your money, we have to disclose that. So I'll keep everybody alert on that matter. While I'm on the topic of water, just came off, this is hot off the presses as of probably about 2 o'clock this afternoon. There will be a crosscut at Meadow Drive tomorrow morning, somewhere between 7 a.m. and 9 a.m. Once the team mobilizes and they get there, there'll be a crosscut across Meadow. They'll be laying in the new water line. They'll be patching it back up, and they'll reopen Meadow Drive. So if anybody happens to see that Meadow Drive is closed, that's what's going on there. No reason for alarm. I did speak directly with Fisher Bus this afternoon after I was notified. Tomorrow being Juneteenth, kind of like the town hall, we are closed. The schools have no activities going on there, so there will be no school buses. So we minimal impact to the community. So school buses will not be affected. Solid waste collection was today for Meadow Drive, and that is essentially all the services that are there. So again, if you're a motorist going through that area, just follow either the flaggers or the traffic signals that are there. But that is everything I have for the community on the water project updates. I did want to touch base on, again, our meeting on July 2nd is canceled because of the holiday, and then our next regularly scheduled meeting will be July 16th. I did want to bring up the, let's see here. Independence Day, don't forget, since we don't have a meeting beforehand, we do have our fireworks out behind Town Hall on Independence Day. They should be kicking off right around 10 o'clock. Standard protocol. Boston Town Band will play prior to the event. There'll be a single salute that goes up. Once that goes up, you'll have about 30 seconds to a minute or so before the show kicks off, and off we go. So please follow all of the fire police, the sheriffs, and or state troopers that are there. We will have traffic control in place. I know last year we did have some issues with people not following our fire police and law enforcement, so please, if you're out and you attend our event, it's for everybody's safety. I know everybody's anxious to get home after the event, they don't want to sit in line, but please, believe it or not, there is a system in place. Our emergency manager and many others behind the scenes have worked on this. So essentially, if you're on if you're looking out towards Boston State Road, if you're on the right-hand side of the building, you're going to be directed to go right, and then make a right-hand turn on Hillcroft, go down Hillcroft to Back Creek down and around. If you're on the left-hand side of the building, you'll be able to flow that way. That's what will allow all the people parked behind Town Hall to exit safely. Please watch for people on the roads. There was a fender bender a year ago now, just up the street. That's another thing. So again, watch out. These are there's little kids out there. There's people. This is a community event. Let's look out for our fellow neighbors and keep everybody safe so everybody goes home at the end of the night after a good celebration. I did a completely different topic. I did want to touch base. I do sit on the Erie County Sewer District Board when we just recently passed that budget. So this will probably be making the paper because we know that media likes when numbers come out. But right now that the new budget that was passed for Boston residents will see approximately a $29.23 per year, so that's $30 for an entire year of sewer service increase. That equates, here's the number that the media likes, 5.4%. A lot that's driving that 5.4% are chemicals and other things that there's just no control cost. These are market rates. It's like going to the grocery store today. What you once bought bananas for, or bread, or other things about a year or so ago, they've gone up. Well, our chemicals have gone up. So that's what's driving that. Anybody has any questions, happy to let everybody know. But again, since this directly relates and impacts Boston residents and ratepayers, and again, these are only folks that are part of the sewer district. If you're on septic, you don't pay this. If you're part of the district but you don't have a service, yes, this will apply to you. That was a question that came up, as a great question. There are, I believe there's 27 parcels off the top of my head in town that pay a basic rate fee. They do not have that lateral sewer line, they're not connected. But again, that rate will apply to them because they do have an opportunity to connect. That was a decision for them not to connect to the sewer system. So we wanted to bring that up. Another lingering matter that hopefully I'll be able to stop talking about, but thanks to my past deputy supervisor, he brought this to my attention. 18 Mile Creek, just down on Back Creek Road. If you see any construction vehicles on Back Creek Road, if you go down Patchett and make a right-hand turn as you're going towards, let's say, Boston Valley Elementary School, approximately 1/16 of a mile down, 1/8 of a mile down, you'll see kind of a stone driveway, but there were timbers and other things there. That is going to be a 18-inch diameter sewer pipe restoration project. It's a pretty big deal for our community. Erie County Soil and Water District is helping out with that just because of the 18 Mile being a protected waterway in the community. So I'm very thankful to have them do that, and I'm also very happy to say that one of our local vendors was awarded that bid on a sealed bid, and that's Colo Construction. And it's all matter of public record, which is why I'm bringing that up. So if you see Colo Construction, he's the one working on it, Erie County Soil and Water Partnering, and that'll get that finally at long last addressed for our community. And I agree with Councilman Cardicchini and Jay Jackson. Really, thanks to both of them for working on the streetlights. Yes, NYSEG had originally told us, if you recall, all the years that we were told we can't touch the receptacles at the pole. There was enough upheaval across the state on NYSEG's decision for that they decided to change that. Catch-22, kind of Councilman Cardicchini's point, they said that we need to have a fuse disconnect added in. There's a whole electrical diagram that we were sent. Everything from the hot service line down to that fuse disconnect is NYSEG's. After that fuse disconnect, once that and all the other required infrastructure is installed, it'll be on the town. So for many years going forward, we will not have to have these conversations about who owns it, who can fix it. It's now the town's infrastructure. We don't get charged for the electricity, but it is going to come at a cost. Because it's on Boston State Road, we also have to get county permits. So as Mr. Jackson had alluded, there's many layers to this onion, but we will get through it. There is a line item in the budget for celebrations and holiday decorations. So we'll come up with a strategy once we get that process together, and we'll get it done. That is all I have for tonight. And again, just a reminder.
You mentioned the 4th of July Independence Day. Do you know if there will be poles going down to Boston State Road for signs for no parking?
That is the intent, yes. In front of Town Hall only.
Town Hall?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, that's a good point. So also, fellow local firefighter, looking out for public safety, yes, they're in front of Town Hall. There has been signs before in the past. Thanks to our Parks Department for putting those up. Please adhere to those signs. We have not towed somebody in the past. It is always a possibility. Again, this is all in the guise and the premise of public safety, so please do not park in front of the green space in front of Town Hall. Please find another place to park, find a place out back. But yes, that is all to keep our fire police, our law enforcement personnel, and you as a citizen safe. So thank you for that reminder. Much appreciated. So,
If I may,
please.
before you close the meeting, I'd like to encourage anybody that's turning right on Boston State Road and taking a right on Hillcroft to take Back Creek Road to go north. It is an opportunity for you to see how bad that road is. And I would encourage you to contact the Erie County Department of Highway, because this has gone far too long in this condition that it is. It is almost impassable. And I was on it today to pick up a young man to take him to school with my son for an exam. And I drive a Jeep, and it was rough for me. So it's an opportunity to showcase what that is. And that's the way the traffic's gonna go out of town. I encourage people to contact Erie County Highway about it, because it's ridiculous. That's all I have.
I agree with you. Feel free to keep stoking that fire to Legislator Mills or the county, but I will say the town does have a little bit of skin in the game on the onus on this one. If it wasn't for our water projects, that would have been done this year. The county executive did commit to that, as did Commissioner Geary. That was part of the list for this year's extensive project, that was there. But yes, the county could go out, to Councilman Cardicchini's point, they could go out and fix what's there. I do not feel that it's right that they're potentially pushing this down the road. Yes, so as a citizen, I mean, yes, we're board members, we work for you, but as a citizen, please feel free to call the Cambridge Barn, let them know, hey, fix these areas, the potholes, the shoulders, all those things, because it was supposed to be fixed this year, and again, next year, it's supposed to be done. I do have a meeting with my supervisor forum in August. I've invited the county executive, Commissioner Geary, and one of the other staff from Erie County DPW. I'll have more information on that. I had asked them to come out because there's also a snowplow contract that's currently being negotiated with the highway superintendents in the county for snowplowing routes. But I invited them out to the supervisor meetings, so the county executive and Commissioner Geary, the two biggest stakeholders at the county level, could come and have a conversation with all of the supervisors in Erie County. So I will keep that, be sure to keep that information flowing as I hear and know more. But I do agree. Please call the county. Anyway, I will make a motion to the meeting 8:14 p.m.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby?
Yes.
Councilman Cardicchini?
Yes.
Supervisor Keating?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukasik?
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin?
Yes.
Motion carried, meeting adjourned.